Mark, an unusually windy, warm, and humid day in the spring can become one of the scariest days of weather here in the Tri-City. As snow, according to this model, finally pushes its way off to the east as we head into Tuesday night. And then things get interesting for next week. National Weather Service has already issued winter storm watches. For today, 67 degrees, increasing clouds, a 20% chance of maybe an isolated shower. There's that strong Arctic front. That Arctic front is going to be charging its way through here as we head into late Sunday night, early Monday morning. We'll have a chance of rain arriving Sunday evening into Sunday night. And so this is what you're going to see me wearing when I leave for work. Gloves, hat, and a scarf, because this is some bitterly cold temperatures. And, you know, we've gotten used to the 40s and 50s yesterday. It was 55 this morning. It's going to be shockingly cold. I don't think people realize how cold it's going to feel out there this afternoon. Dangerous cold expected as the northern jet stream dives down to the deep south, and that is just going to allow a lot of cold air to flood its way in here from northern Canada. We're going to see temperatures 25 to 30 degrees below normal. Here's a predicted low by Tuesday morning, dropping down below zero here in the Tri-Cities. And then on top of that, we're going to see wind chills. This is what's going to feel like out there for Tuesday morning. Dangerous cold, as we'll see temperatures feeling more like negative 20 or even lower than that in the higher terrain. The clouds will be on the increase with that moisture starting to arrive around the early morning hours. You notice all the green here, that's just all rain. The pink, that's the sleet and freezing rain, and the blue, that's the snow. Hey, Mark. Well, first of all, I got rid of the umbrella. I got it from Lost and Found because I didn't have an umbrella. Well, now I know why it was lost in the first place, because it just did not work tonight. I just want to give you a little bit of advice since we are expecting that rain to change over to snow. First of all, Mark Nagy from TDOT said, you know, if you don't have to be out, best idea, stay home tomorrow because the roads will become treacherous, especially in the higher terrain. But if you have to travel, since it's such a big travel holiday around the region, just want to give you a little bit of advice because, first of all, you want to make sure that you have good tread on your tires. And there's a very simple test. You just take a penny, like I have here, and you turn that penny upside down and put it in the tread. And basically, if you see all of Lincoln's head, that tells you that your tires do not have very good tread, and you're really taking a chance on sliding around if you don't have very good tires. And also, some good advice is slow down. This is the first real snow of the season here in the Tri-Cities. Make sure you give yourself some extra time to reach your destination. So why are we seeing this icy setup in the first place? Well, here's what we're looking at. It's all about our geography here. The mountains will act like a dam basically to any cold air trying to work its way in here from the north and east. We've got high pressure off to the north. Airflow around high pressure is clockwise. That is going to push some very cold air right down the eastern spine of the Appalachians. Meanwhile, we've got some warm air streaming its way in here from the south and west, about 5,500 feet and above. So therefore, the setup is you've got precipitation falling as rain, and then once it hits that shallow layer of cold air, that rain will freeze on contact, and that's what's known as freezing rain. An intense line of showers and thunderstorms really have fired up through southeast Kentucky. Take a look at all the lightning strikes over the past 10 minutes. So here's your soggy Saturday weather pattern. That cold front will be barreling its way through the southern Appalachians on our Saturday, bring us a good chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. We're watching what's happening into Kentucky. You notice this nasty line of showers and thunderstorms, and what's happening here, you see this kind of Boeing shape. So that means it's probably going to be producing some damaging winds, and it's going to be tracking its way right down into our region. Looks like later tonight, possibly through the early morning. Well, throughout our Sunday, we've been seeing a variety of weather conditions throughout the region. Here's an example for you. It was 50 degrees at 4 o'clock at the Tri-Cities Regional Airport. Meanwhile, just an hour to the east, it was 29 degrees in Boone, North Carolina. And with that significant temperature difference, it's still playing a factor here, even as we take a look at the radar loop over the past 15 minutes. First of all, I want to point out we've got green and yellow throughout southwest Virginia and most of northeast Tennessee. That is just rain. However, there's some pink showing up in northwest North Carolina through Ashe County, also Watauga County around the Boone area, extending into Grayson County and Wytheville. And therefore, you're going to see the possibility of some freezing rain continuing forward tonight just because the temperatures are still below the freezing mark. 29 right now in Boone. It's 31 in Wytheville, 39 though in Marion. And we had that cold air just locked in place just to the east of the spine of the Appalachians. Meanwhile, here in southwest Virginia and northeast Tennessee, temperatures are safely above the freezing mark. The snow is falling here at exit 7 in Bristol, Virginia. The good news is Right now, it's not accumulating on the roads. Just a little bit accumulating on the grassy surfaces, probably about a quarter inch right now. But as we continue to see this light to moderate snowfall and the temperatures continue to drop down into the low 30s, we will have that chance of probably some slippery road conditions.
Now, Storm Team 11 meteorologist Nathan Scott.
Good morning, Tri-Cities. On this chilly Friday, we are still watching some light snow and some flurries out there this morning. As you notice here on Live Viper 11 radar, the snow showers will be winding down this morning, and therefore just expect maybe a little more accumulation over the higher terrain. Road conditions out there, the main roads, the interstates pretty much are in good shape. It's the secondary roads you got to watch out for, snow-covered roads, and also the possibility of some black ice. And take a look here. On top of Beach Mountain, the roads are certainly snow-covered in that direction. The highest terrain, don't even attempt to make it up mountains unless you have a four-wheel drive or at least some snow chains, because two-wheel drive just won't cut it for this morning with those snow-covered roads. They've seen about 7 to 8 inches on top of Beach Mountain. Right now, look at that temperature, 14 degrees at the Tri-Cities Regional Airport. But what I want to point out is the wind chill. It feels like 2 degrees out there this morning. So make sure you bundle up as temperatures feel more like below zero into Boone. Feels like -7, feels like -2 in Abingdon, feels like 0 in Wise, feels like 8 in Jonesville, and 9 in Knoxville. And with those dangerous wind chills, -5 to -15, National Weather Service has issued a wind chill advisory until noon for all the counties here that you see shaded in the blue, and that includes the counties of East Tennessee, the higher terrain, and also Grayson, Smith, Wythe, and Wise into Southwest Virginia. Now, as we take your time here on Vipercast, the snow showers will be winding down, and we will see some sunshine out there for this afternoon. Expect skies to become partly sunny to partly cloudy, but even with the sun, because the sun is so low on the horizon, it won't do much in the form of heating up the surface. So therefore, temperatures today, they're only topping out into the low to mid 20s. Our average low for this time of year is at 25, and higher terrain, you're going to be stuck into the teens. Saturday, high pressure will be in control, and we'll see some warmer temperatures, highs topping out to the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then our next weather maker arrives here as we head into your Sunday. Another strong Arctic front will be plowing its way through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, so therefore expect a chance of rain arriving for Sunday. And as that cold air catches up with the precipitation, we'll have the rain change over to snow. And yes, it does look like we could see a light accumulation for the Tri-Cities, possible another significant accumulation over the higher terrain with more northwesterly flow developing. For today, the 24 degrees, snow showers will be winding down, but with those breezes, it's going to feel more like 0 or below 0, especially over the high country. And then for tonight, we drop all the way down to 13. Temperatures will be warming up over the mountains as you start off your Saturday morning. The valleys will be the coldest. And then we warm up to 43 for the high on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. But the weather pattern goes downhill for the second half of the weekend on your Sunday. 40% chance of rain as that Arctic front sweeps its way through. Look what it does to the temperatures. 28, that's a midnight high on Monday. Temperatures will continue to plummet down into the upper teens to lower 20s throughout the day. We drop down to 0 for a low. Monday night into Tuesday morning, that means higher elevations are going to be well below 0 and only 15 for a high on Tuesday.
Now, Storm Team 11 meteorologist Nathan Scott.
Good Thursday morning, Tri-Cities. We've already got moisture starting to arrive here from the west. Take a look at Live Viper 11 radar where you see the pink. That's a possibility of maybe some freezing rain taking place, and that's because the lower elevations and those sheltered valleys have dropped below the freezing mark this morning, and then it changes to all rain as you head over towards Knoxville. And you notice we've got a lot of moisture here, and we've got two parts to this system. A low pressure system making its way through Middle Tennessee. That'll be sweeping its way through the southern Appalachians, giving us a strong cold front that'll be dragging its way through, providing us with some very cold conditions as we head into tonight and especially for your Friday. And then just a train of moisture into Georgia and also the Carolinas. These two systems will combine forces right over, looks like off the New Jersey coastline, Delmarva coastline, providing a pretty significant snowfall for places like Pennsylvania and also into New England. You notice all the winter weather advisories, those are the counties marked in the purple, while everybody else in the pink, those are winter storm warnings. And also out there this morning with the possibility of freezing rain, the National Weather Service has now issued a freezing rain advisory until 10 o'clock for all of northeast Tennessee. That does include the Tri-Cities and also a good part of southwest Virginia. And that means basically you could run into a few slippery patches on the roadways. So want to watch out for that early this morning before everything changes over to all rain. Then we'll see the rain change over to all snow later today and for tonight. And therefore we have winter storm warnings that have been posted for parts parts of southwest Virginia, including the counties of Grayson, Smith, Tazewell, and Wise, and also the counties along the Tennessee-North Carolina border for elevations 2,500 feet and above. This goes into effect 3 o'clock for this afternoon and continues until 7 o'clock for Friday morning. Everybody else in the viewing area is under a winter weather advisory for the same time frame, and that means we could have the possibility of maybe some slippery road conditions for later this evening into tonight. Right now, 25 degrees at the Tri-Cities Regional Airport. The pressure is at 29.95, reporting mostly clear skies. And as we take a look at the temperature range across the rest of the east, 29 right now in Charleston, 37 in Louisville. It's 45 though in Nashville, so we'll see the temperatures warm up into the upper 30s to lower 40s for this afternoon before that strong Arctic front. You notice it here, 19 degrees right now in St. Louis, and that cold air will be pouring its way in here from the north and west as we head into later today and for tonight. So let's take through time here on Vipercast. We'll have that threat of some freezing rain out there early this morning before it changes over to all rain, and it stays all rain as we get into the noon hour. But then by 3 or 4 o'clock, the transitions will start to take place into southwest Virginia. You notice the blues showing up, and also into the mountains along the Tennessee-North Carolina border. It will change to all snow even here in the Tri-Cities, but you notice most of the moisture starts to leave the valley areas, and then we have that northwesterly flow developing for tonight, and that's why this is going to be a higher elevation event. That's where you're going to see the most amount of accumulation. So how much snow am I calling for? Well, it looks like right now expecting about nothing to maybe an inch for the Tri-Cities and the lower elevations in northeast Tennessee and southwest Virginia, but the higher elevations 2 to 5 inches along the Tennessee-North Carolina border, elevations 2,500 feet and above, and then about a 1 to 3 inch for places in northern parts of southwest Virginia, while Wise County you can see about 2 to 4 inches, and that's because you're at an elevation 2,500 feet and above. For today though, morning rain, maybe a little bit of freezing rain out there this morning, and then we'll see the rain change over to all snow later in the day and for this evening. High around 43, 18 for tonight. Wind chills dropping near or below zero. Light snow or flurries continue into the Tri-Cities. Heavy to moderate snow. That's where you're going to run into some dangerous road conditions into the higher terrain. Take a look at your 7-day forecast. It's just plain cold on Friday. Highs only into the low to mid 20s with warmth for the weekend, and then another system arrives for next week.